Hey, what's happening, everybody on YouTube? We are back with another weekly video. Me and Benjamin are here, or Benjamin are here with the merch hangout. We're going to talk about our merch business. We are Merch by Amazon sellers, and we like to provide information to you guys about our journeys and our experience on Merch by Amazon. So, Benjamin, how are you doing today? And glad to have you back.
Doing great, man. It's crazy. It's been a minute. It's been a couple weeks, so it's nice to kind of get back in the flow, get back in the routine, and pumped to talk merch.
Yeah, man, it has been a while. I'm glad to be back. There's a lot that's been going on, so I just want to update you guys on what's been happening.
Yeah, so how's everything on your end going?
Everything's good. Sales have been pretty good lately for the holiday season. I'm actually pretty excited about Black Friday coming up. So yeah, everything's pretty good. How about you?
Yeah, same deal, man. It's we're starting I feel like Q4 is just picking up for my business, like literally in the last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was gonna start happening a little bit earlier, which is that thing I always like convince myself each year. Like, oh, I thought it was gonna go down in October. October is good, but yeah, I wanted to continue picking up. So I'm excited for the next few weeks. It's a very exciting time for just anyone selling online, right?
Definitely, for sure. So like I said, we are Merch by Amazon sellers, and we just want to share our experience with you guys. We're going to talk about what we made as far as sales for our Merch by Amazon business for the past. Actually, we're going to talk about October, right? We're going to talk about October and November.
Yeah.
Today. So let's go ahead and get started. Ben, you want to talk about your October and then November, and we could just do the same format, do sales and so on and so forth.
Totally. So October, I wrote down a little bit of information, but October was a pretty strong month. I did 172 items sold. 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
By far my biggest month. I think before that, my best month was 92 or 93 or something. So I did have 14 returns, 5 cancellations, but I feel like that's fairly reasonable for the volume I did. Now, one thing I'll say about that, though, is 172 sales. I did have one bulk order, which was like 40, 43 or 44 in one single order. So one thing I'm kind of trying to dial it back and say, okay, what would I have done without that? Okay, so roughly 120, 130 is what I'm really looking at last month as. And my goal for November was is kind of to beat 120 or 130. So that was my month of October. Do you want me to touch on November now, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, so November, today's what, the 21st. So far, so this month I'm at 94 products sold. So hopefully I'm on a good pace to hit that like 120, 130 sweet spot. That was kind of my goal. And then of those 94, it's 51 different items. So I do have a few kind of heavier hitters in there. And just to break that down a little further, I did 2 long sleeve shirts, which I'm pumped on because I never sell long sleeve shirts. So that's kind of interesting. And 9 pop sockets. So and those are almost all different pop sockets.
Nice.
I think one of them sold like 2 or 3 units.
Remember a couple of months ago you said, I haven't sold any pop sockets at all, and now here you go selling some. So that's pretty cool.
Finally starting to get there. I also threw so many pop socket designs up. Oh, and I will say all of these are in the US market. I don't have a single item listed in any other market. So yeah, I still haven't tapped into that stuff. And then of those, I've had 1 cancel and 4 returns. I think all the returns are actually from last month so far. So that's kind of my month so far. I can go into like, what I've been doing, what's changed. Yeah.
I'm actually glad you mentioned that. There's a lot of questions, people ask, why is my payout lower than what I expected to make for the previous month? And it's because of what you just said. People, they will pay out what was actually shipped for the month. So if it wasn't shipped for the month, if you were expecting a certain amount, it might be lower or it might be higher because they'll pay off of what was actually shipped. So good thing that you noted that for sure.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So yeah, what about you? I want to hear your numbers.
All right, yeah, let's go ahead and get into October. I forgot to write down or jot down the different number of designs, but I can give you everything else. So for October, I did 70 in sales. That is definitely a big jump from September. Oh yeah, for sure. I did get 1 return for October, and I got 3 cancels. Also, I forgot to mention, so now I currently have 555 designs up right now.
Hey, there we go.
I am on tier 1,000. I did mention this in my previous video that I put out. To be honest, I got a little burnt out of like just uploading all the time, so I didn't really get to max out my design slots like I should. I know this is like the worst time to get burnt out, but you know, it is what it is. So
it happens.
You know.
It happens. Sometimes you just need a reset for a few days and then go back into it.
Yeah, think about it. Like me and you, when we started doing our videos, like we were going pretty hard. This is like what, several months ago. We were just, you know, head down, just focus on Merch by Amazon, just uploading every day almost.
Yeah.
It can definitely get a little tiring on you for sure.
Totally. I mean, yeah, we've been doing that for a while. Also, I think the difference is when you and I first started doing these videos, we only had what, like 10 uploads a day, or I don't even know, 25. And now I think it's what, 50 or 100? I can't remember. 100 a day. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Wow. And you kind of feel this like little bit of pressure, like, okay, I'm gonna try to hit at least close to 100, but you know you're not going to. At least I don't, for sure.
Yeah, 100 is pretty tough unless you're doing like some scalable design. It's even so hard.
Yep. All right, so to talk about November. So November's numbers already. We're only on the 21st of November. I have 138 sales. So that's a huge increase from October. Yeah, and we haven't even hit Black Friday yet, so I'm excited to see what's going to happen for that day.
Wow.
But even though that is a positive, there's definitely a negative part to that. I have the most returns this month than my overall journey. I have
how many are we looking at?
Double digits, man. Already. I have 10 returns this month so far.
Okay. That's not horrible.
That's bad. Like, to me, that's bad.
I mean, yeah, but it's not great. But I'm sure some of those are probably from last month, right? They're not all from this month, or do you think it's all this month?
This month, I went to the Analyze tab and went to just this month, 10 returns, and most of it is from one item. And it's funny, that one item is my best seller. So I mean,
weird.
It's kind of scary to have like your best seller as also your number one highest returned item.
Totally.
You know, people are still buying it. We'll just see what happens, really. You know.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Yeah, I got 4 cancels for the month so far, and some strategies. Let's talk about strategies. One thing that I did start doing ads. I think I talked about this in one of our previous videos.
I think you were just getting into it when we last talked. So yeah, dig into that. I want to hear a little bit more about it because I'm just getting started with AMS and some other ads. So
now, to me, ads is more of like just you really have to find what works for you. There's a lot of trial and error and a lot of testing you have to play with it. At this point, I've spent about $200 on ads at this point. So I think I started it in September, I think. September, and then
200 total, not this month. 200 total. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and I've made $553 in sales.
Gotcha.
So, and then my ACOS. If you don't know what ACOS is, if you guys don't know what ACOS is advertising cost of sale. So, like, how much of your advertising budget did it cost to make a sale? So that your goal is to get that as low as possible. Mine's is at 38% right now. I want to get that lower for sure. Just think about it like this. So say the price of your shirt, let's just say $14.99. And then Amazon takes, you know, their percentage, right? Like let's say 80-something%. And then now your ACOS is like another percentage of that entire $14.99. So you want to get your advertising ACOS number low as possible because it's going to be taking a little bit of money from your advertising, or a little bit of the advertising is going to be taken from the sale of the shirt, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Cuts into your profits, but it's worth it in certain cases. And I have a bunch of questions for you. Are you in the middle of a thought, or can I start asking? I can't.
Oh, go ahead. Ask away. Go ahead.
So yeah. So the first thing, because I'm playing with all of this stuff right now. So when you build first of all, do you know how many campaigns that's coming from? Like how many different campaigns are actually running and delivering for you?
How many campaigns are running?
Yeah. How many do you have running, and are they like delivering results, or like what stage are they kind of all at?
So like I said before, I kind of had to test this out to see what works. When I started doing ads, I had all of my shirts, everything in one, or not everything, but like a lot of items in one campaign. My whole goal with that was to figure out which keywords are converting better than what I already have. So of course, with that, if I'm spending a lot of money on just one big campaign, I'm going to be losing money because I'm going to be targeting things that like I already have the good optimized keywords for. I don't know. You kind of waste money like that. You want to niche, you want to like break down your campaigns into stuff that you know is going to sell. And I had some items in there that probably were not going to sell, you know?
Yeah.
So after that, I ran that for a couple weeks, and then I broke it down to 3 different campaigns. So now currently I have 3 different campaigns, and each campaign I have a budget of $2 for. So I'm just spending $6 a day.
Okay.
And to answer your second part, you said delivery, like what's converting for me?
Like are they all doing well? Yeah, I was just kind of curious if like, is there 1 or 2 of them that's really doing the bulk of that work and delivering sales, or yeah, just kind of curious how they look.
So I just checked right now before we got into the video. 1 is not converting, but I didn't spend that much on it. I only spent like $5 at this point on it, but I haven't made any sales. I've had this running for about a couple weeks now. So I may look into that campaign, probably like exit or, you know, cross it out, and then just focus on the other 2 campaigns.
Right.
But the other 2 campaigns, 1 is doing better than the other, but they're both performing pretty well for me overall.
Dude, that's awesome. Now, sorry, I have literally like so many questions on my mind.
Well, let me run down this real quick, and then
do it.
See. So, like I said, ACoS is 38%. The amount of impressions, so the amount of times people just saw your listing, 193,000 impressions. My cost per click on average right now is 27%. So I know that's probably a question you're going to want to ask. And then my click-through rate is 0.41, so that's kind of low. Overall, it says I have 37 total orders. So that's the numbers for advertising right now.
Now, if we zoom out a little bit, like I'm just kind of curious, what is your overall strategy? Hey, take a product and then put 1 product in each campaign. Because I know you mentioned earlier that you tried some campaigns where you had a bunch of different T-shirts or pop sockets or whatever in there. So do you do 1 campaign with a lot of products, or 1 campaign with like 1 product at a time?
Well, the campaign that I have multiple items in, the one that's not converting, or that's the one that's not converting.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
And the other 2 that are doing pretty well, those actually have 1 item in them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think it really matters. Like, that's just my opinion. Maybe, I don't know, I have to test that out even more. But as of right now, it looks like it does work with campaigns having just 1 item, even though in my mind I think it doesn't, because it's going to advertise everything. And I think that's a good way to get, you know, some visibility to your listings, like especially for scale designs. Like the one that I have multiple listings in, that was based off of a scale design, and I don't know why I'm not getting that many clicks. I'm not too sure why, but as of right now, it just sounds like having 1 item in a campaign works, at least for me right now.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that, because I have I have maybe 6 campaigns running, but only 1 of them has been running long term, and I'm kind of still like learning how it all works. But I have like some of the other campaigns running. I have products that I thought were like really high quality design, good listing, thought they were going to just take off, then nothing. It's literally like not getting anything on them. So I'm trying to like really dig into this a little bit more and figure out, does that mean that the product is not what people want, or like, what is it? Why are people not reacting to that product? And I think that's also some of the power of like the AMS, you know, and advertising, is that you need to hyper test it, but it's going to tell you that information that you maybe wouldn't have found out another way. Like, to me, that's signaling there's something wrong with this product or this campaign. So now I need to learn more so I can tweak it. So
now, one thing, do you download the spreadsheet that Amazon provides?
So I was just going to ask you that too, because so right now what I'm doing is I'm running all automatic campaigns, and so the one I have that's going longer term, throughout the others I just started in the last like 3 days. So those ones I don't have enough data on, but that one that's longer term, my strategy is essentially run an automatic campaign, for about a week, maybe 8 or 9 days if I want. Then I'm going to go in, download all of the keywords, and then switch to a manual campaign if the automatic one was performing decently well. In that manual campaign, then I'm going to dig into, you know, the actual keywords and make sure I'm actually bidding properly on those keywords. But again, like, I'm still playing around with this. I only have one manual campaign and the rest are automatic right now. So that was going to be my next question is that your strategy to do the automatic, download results, then do manual, or do you have some other strategy that is working for you?
Well, I am running automatic. And the same thing like what you're doing, I do have a manual campaign as well. I'm definitely gonna open up more campaigns. It's just that, like you said, you want to have your campaigns running for a while. I want to say maybe at least 3 weeks might be a better way to gauge like what's really converting for you. So to me, like, my thought process is your automatic campaign is something you want to keep up forever. You never really want to take it down, because this is Amazon pulling information for you and giving you what people are searching for to find your item. This is like not free information, but you can make it cheap. You know, you can have your budget at like $1 or $2 per day on automatic, and then get your keywords that actually are converting, that you know are making your item sell. Put that in your manual campaign. So you can have 2 campaigns for like one targeted group of items. You know, that is my strategy. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Essentially, it's funny because you said that. I've been starting to get more into Etsy. It's just so funny. Like, essentially with Amazon, we have to pay to get the information that Etsy gives us for free, right? Like, Etsy, oh, these listings are getting traffic from these exact keywords, so then you can optimize. Amazon, it's like, no, you don't get that information. But if you run these paid ads and pay us, we'll give you that information. So it's funny. Crazy. But now, actually, that kind of gives me an idea. I think I've heard you talk about it, but have you ever thought about taking your products that you have on Etsy or on a different channel, where they give you kind of some more of that information, and then taking those keywords and optimizing on Amazon? Or do you think that's a bad idea because they're completely different platforms? Buyers are different on different platforms.
I do that all the time. Since Etsy gives you that information for free, it's not a bad idea to get those keywords and put it in Amazon. I mean,
totally.
I don't know. It's like the keywords should be the same for the most part. You know, so it's definitely a good idea. And I do that for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Now, one other question that I have just on ads is: are you normally? And I've been thinking about this. Like, kind of, there's 2 sides to it. Do you take a design that you already know is going to do well, or know that, like, let's say your top seller, like I know you've mentioned in some of our past videos, you have that one or 2 niches that are really hot for you. Do you take designs that you are already doing well with organically and run campaigns, or would you recommend taking like products that you want to get ranking that maybe you just launched that haven't sold yet, and doing campaigns for those in order to rank them, or a combination?
Yeah. I mean, that's, like I said earlier, that's exactly what I did when I first started, because I thought some items were going to sell. So I put everything in one campaign to get keywords and to gain visibility to them and traction. But unfortunately, it didn't work that well. So that's why I realized the best way to do this is to get your best-selling designs. Only your top-selling items should be advertised. Just the ones that have that proven, track history of making sales should be advertised. Because you don't know if something's going to sell or not, and you could be charged a lot of money, a lot of clicks for like one keyword. Let's say like I don't know, like a pink pop socket. People might search pink pop socket and they see your pop socket. They may not want that at all, so you're just getting a lot of clicks and it's not converting. So you want to get something that is definitely already converting for sure.
So how fast would you kill a campaign if you see that it's like not getting you the results you want?
The ones that cost me too much money with no money in return. So however long that takes, it could be, a week. It's really up to you. It could be like a week or 2. I don't like spending too much money for no reason. So like for me, if I see I've already spent like $30, that's just me personally, like $30 on a campaign, I'm not getting anything, it's time to go. What about you? I mean, what would you do? Or how do you kill campaigns?
It's For me, so I have that one campaign that's like been a success. It's hitting, it's doing really well. Didn't write the stats down, but it was performing pretty well, like with a low ACOS. But for me, it's like they're not even spending money. They're just not. They're not even getting like any traffic at all. So I'm barely spending money on them, but they're not getting any results. So I normally have been just killing those after maybe like a week or a week and a half. Now I'm also doing this for like super really obscure niches. So it might also be just that niche doesn't have a lot of natural demand. So therefore, like there's not enough demand to really warrant doing a campaign for it, which is a whole nother like conversation probably. So again, like I just feel like right now I'm just experimenting, like what works, what doesn't. I feel like I'm so early to the AMS campaigns that it's too early for me to say really.
It definitely takes time to learn. You know, it's not like a switch you can flip on and just start pouring in money. You know, it's not gonna happen like that. But I'm glad you just said something that made me think about your profit margin when it comes to ads. It would be a good idea to have your profit margins, you know, at a pretty good rate. So for me, I told you I have my campaigns at $2 at a $2 budget per day.
Yeah.
And I'm advertising shirts that profit me $3.11 per sale. So like one sale is already gonna, you know, go over my budget for the day. So not only are you making sales, you're gonna boost your sales rank as well. So you're boosting your sales rank, making profit, and the results are gonna make more sales because your sales rank is better. You know. Totally. So just something to think about. Make your profit margins higher when you're doing ads. You don't want to lose money.
You raise the price before you start the ad campaign, or you know what I mean? Like if you're going to launch a campaign and you say, okay, right now I'm only priced at $15.95, which is whatever, $1.57 or whatever it is, or $2.20, whatever.
It was like $2.36.
$2.30, yeah, something like that. Yeah. So do you say, okay, I'm going to run this campaign and it might cost X amount, so I'm going to bump the price up to another $1 to offset that cost? Or
I would say so.
Yeah, okay.
I would definitely say so. I mean, I think there's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if there's other people that do the opposite. Like they'll lower their price as low as possible and then advertise that just to attract those buyers that are looking for a deal. I mean, that could work too, but you know, people on Amazon, you don't know how many clicks you're gonna get, so your budget is gonna just skyrocket. You know?
Yeah, totally.
So that's why I'm saying like it's really good to consider having your profit margin at a pretty good amount.
Totally. Yep. Yeah, I think all the shirts I've been running so far, I've been upping the profitability before running the ad campaign, and then I'm setting the bid like fairly competitively so I can actually hopefully get some conversions, but we'll see what happens. So I'll have a better report next time we talk.
Yeah, man, definitely. You've been showing some love to your social media, Pinterest and all that?
So I have, so just to touch on like what I've been doing that's worked and kind of my goal going forward is, so no, I have not. The short answer is I haven't been doing anything on Pinterest. I've been cutting back on like even, you know, in the past I've been talking about Amazon Spark. So I haven't been doing really either of those because my kind of mindset right now is more products means more buy buttons, and higher quality products means better conversions. So essentially like my whole mindset right now is how can I get the most buy buttons out there, and which means expanding onto other channels because I'm maxed out on my tier right now. And then making sure like my listings and my products are as high quality as possible. So, and I think that's the thing that I got caught up in all of the other strategies to a certain extent. And then at the end of the day, the biggest thing that's correlated with like my success is tiering up and having more products live. You know, this like Pinterest and everything, they might give me like a couple sales a month, which isn't, I mean, that's still great, but it's also much more time consuming. So I've cut back a little bit on that. But what I have been doing is focusing on always having my tier maxed out. So as soon as I get up to tier, you know, 2000, which hopefully will be in the next like 2-3 weeks, I'm really hoping I'm immediately going to go back in and try to get up to maxing those slots out with like quality designs as quick as possible. So, but for now I'm expanding. I'm on Etsy, and I'm pushing. I actually just uploaded my first couple designs to Redbubble today, which is
nice.
Very interesting platform.
Yeah, it's different, huh? I told you that before.
Very different. I'm definitely, honestly, I'm kind of excited about it. I think it's kind of cool. I don't know how well they're going to sell. You've sold a little bit on there, right?
Yeah, I actually just got a sale a couple of days ago. Someone bought 4 of those tote bags.
Oh yeah.
The sale was like $75, but I only got $10 off of that, which I mean it's fine. I just uploaded a design, but
Yeah.
they kind of took a lot, you know.
Yeah, when you list them, are you literally copying your merch listing, like all the keywords and everything in the title?
Yeah. Oh, for the title, well, yeah, I summarize it because you can only have like 10 words or
Yeah.
something like that. So yeah, I definitely have to like summarize it on there. But yeah, it kind of uses the same titles on there. But the thing is, like as you can see, their listings are more like artistic and like well thought out designs.
Yeah.
Whereas with Amazon, it's just a smiley face on the shirt and that's it. You know?
Yeah, it's definitely a more artistic platform. It seems like. So I don't. We'll see. We'll see. Right now, I'm just kind of in that mindset. Like, let's just try to get since I'm maxed out. Let's try to get all the designs I have on all the other platforms. So that's Redbubble, eBay, and then I'm going to push them all to Seller Central as well, and just kind of like experiment with that.
I brought up social media because I was going to talk about something that I talked about before in the previous video.
You would.
I did mention before I really want to build out my Amazon store since we have that option or have that feature now.
Storefront?
The Amazon storefront, yeah.
Nice.
Never got to it. I never finished it.
Put a lot of time into your last one.
I put a lot of time into it. I mean, I did like whole days just working on it. And I got all the way to the point where I finished like the front end. So it was just time for me to just upload my designs. And I was just going through my designs, just uploading them, you know, putting them on the page. Because the way I do my store, I had different categories. So I have, just for example, let's say like auto and cars, and then like funny shirts, and then you know, so on and so forth with different categories. So I'll start like uploading all my designs that relates to the category. And as I'm going through my designs, I started realizing like, man, if I want to build like a real website, I don't think like I wasn't really too happy with my designs. Like some of them weren't that great, and I only had about, like I said, I only have about 500. And at the end of the day, I just kind of just stopped working on it, and I'm kind of mad at myself at that. But I really want to build a website or a shopping website where people can see like great quality designs, you know. So I stopped working on that, but the goal was to have just traffic from Facebook and Pinterest and Twitter and Instagram all to that Amazon page, which still is the goal. It's probably gonna take a little bit longer. I want to get better designs up. Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that because I've been revisiting my Shopify store, which I do have one from a while ago, and I actually have a few Facebook ads running right now just to kind of test some things. But it's the same deal. Like I built the whole store. My storefront looks amazing, and then I start putting all these designs in there. And when you take them off Amazon and you throw them all these random different niches I'm in on my branded page, it looks so weird. It's like
and like other websites, they'll kind of have like a similar theme. You know, like if you look at, I spoke about $6 Designs before, that website.
I think so.
All the shirts, like there's different categories for that website, but all the shirts kind of look like in a similar theme. You know, it's like a graphic, but they're all like kind of similar in a way, even though they're different. All my stuff, since I have 2 different designers, they just look totally different, period. You know? So
yeah, it's a struggle. I mean, it's good problems to have, I guess, like trying to figure out how to make higher quality and this and that, but at the same time, it's frustrating. And especially if you're trying to build like a general store, like my Shopify store, the vibe is that I'm trying to go for is build like for this storefront, I want to build a general store right now that's like all my products in one place, and then just hyper test different ad campaigns for all of them. Down the road, I'm definitely going to focus more on like building, you know, highly targeted, highly branded niche stores and brands. But I think right now, like I'm just trying to learn as much as I can. So we'll see what happens.
Definitely. So do you have anything else you wanted to bring up in the video at all?
I think that's it, to be honest. Yeah. It's been a good update. Hopefully going to push through the rest of this month and end with a strong one. Hopefully catch up to you with 138. Can't believe that. That's amazing.
I mean, you had 172, man. I imagine, I hope I get to that point one day.
Yeah, dude, you're at 138 with 550 designs. I was at 172 and I had like 950 designs. So one of those was a bulk order for 40. So that doesn't even count.
Well,
you're crushing.
I don't know. Well, we'll see how Black Friday does. You know, I'm pretty excited about that. I want to get some more guests on here too. You know, that was pretty fun. So hopefully we can get some more people on the show as well.
Let us know in the comments below, wherever you're watching this, who else you want on the show and what you think of these shows. I'm kind of curious. Do you miss the show? Should we bring this back as a weekly thing? I want to know.
Yeah, definitely leave your comments and suggestions down in the comment box. I wouldn't even mind getting Greg back on. Greg was pretty fun.
Dude, he's the man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's gonna be it for me. I think it was a pretty good show. We got a lot got a lot out. Really updated each other on what's been happening the past couple months. So yeah, it's been a pretty good show.
Good stuff. We'll try to make next week happen, hopefully.
Yeah, man, we're both busy for sure.
100%.
All right, so that's gonna be it. I want to thank you guys for watching the video. So go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. And me and Ben will see you on the next video.
Cheers.
See you guys.